Buon pomeriggio a tutti. In questa domenica abbiamo deciso di fare delle dirette in inglese. So, welcome to 6%, 6%, and we will make some interview for travelers in English. Quindi, se siete inglesi o parlate inglesi, seguiteci. Sarà un inglese facile, cercherò ogni tanto anche di tradurre. Ci può servire. So, if you are English speaking, be ready. We will start interview with some travelers. And, in a 6% style, we will enjoy, have fun, talk. And if you have some question, I put the glasses so I can see your questions. So please make your question. So I introduce you the guest of today. The guest of today is Carlo. Carlo is half Brazilian, half Italian, and he lives in New York. And Carlo had made some great trip with the motorcycle and his wife. They travel a lot. We met each other in Panama, exactly in Cologne. So I would like to introduce you, Carlo. So stay tuned, he will arrive in a few seconds. And his name is a little bit particular. It's about Sunday. That's the reason that also we choose him for today, because his Instagram page is about Sunday. There is a famous movie that is on every Sunday, where also Steve McQueen is on, and is a cult for the motorcyclist. Allora, c'è un famoso film che è ogni venerdì, on every Sunday, che è un cult per i motociclisti. Per cui abbiamo scelto proprio la domenica come giorno per queste live in inglese e abbiamo scelto Carlo, che oltre a essere una persona che io conosco, è anche un post, come si dice, anche un Instagram page che si chiama proprio Sunday, perché è Special Crazy Sunday. Carlo, where are you? I'm waiting to you, my friends. Let's see, where are you? Carlo, I miss you. Where are you? Okay, let's go and try to find you. It's not online. Oh, I'm not sure that you can find me. So, there is, between you, follow me now. There is someone that doesn't speak English? C'è qualcuno che non parla inglese? Electricsundays is here. So, come on, Carlo. So, hi everybody. This is my friend Carlo with the page Instagram Electric Sunday. Take a look at the picture. We will have some fun. Carlo, I think you have just to accept my request. You have just to accept my request. I send you the request and you have just to accept it. I do it again. Electric Sunday, join me. You have to touch something. You got it! You got it, man! Oh, there is also Tony, but I think she is shy. Yeah, that's Tony! Ciao! From New York, she's drinking her coffee. It's breakfast over there. It's early morning.
No, we're not in New York. We're in Philadelphia today.
Oh, okay. So, how is the weather in New York?
Suck. Gray. Rainy. It has been cold. Not that great.
I hear a voice that is comment also. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you guys. You are Italian, Brazilian, and a traveler. Can you tell us some trips that you made in your life?
But about what? Like about motorcycle?
Yeah. Let's start with motorcycle.
I travel a lot, like anywhere, like by feet, by plane, by whatever mean. But the best ones are the motorcycle. So I think since I was 14, years old, like, you know, when you get the 50cc, but I already had bikes before. I started traveling, you know, so the weekend was like, you know, going out of town with the friends. And that was 1984, so the Dakar was started in '79. When it started, I was living in Africa, so there was a lot of media about it, and that's, you know, where I got passionate about, you know, adventure on a motorcycle.
Wow.
So I guess even when the 50cc, I would find an excuse to go away with the 10th. And I remember, you know, who's Italian might know, I had a Aprilia Tuareg 50. That was my best thing. And, you know, I couldn't, drum brakes still funky. And I remember when I was going away, if it started raining and I would see a paddle on the side of the road, I would just jump in thinking of the car or whatever. And obviously the spark plug would go wet and fix it. But yeah, and I mean, the most the best trip I did, one was with my wife, which was during the last recession.
Yeah.
My wife had a very stressful job. She was always, you know, a little nervous. Then recession came, and she wanted to go away because her passion is surf. I am motorcycle, but she surf. So she kept saying, I want to go here, here, here in South America. And I was like, I can't, you know, blah, blah, blah. Let's not do it. So we discussed it for 6 months. And then one day I came back home and I said, all right, we do it, one condition. He's like, what is it? We do it on a motorcycle. So I explained why. And my wife never even rode a motorcycle. Not on the back. She didn't have a driving license. You know. After I explained it to her, she was kind of okay. So, you know, I started searching for the bike, and we ended up buying the bike 200 miles outside New York at a BMW dealer called Max BMW. If you ever go to America, you need to order online. It's a good dealer. Very serious.
Okay.
And because the one in New York, BMW in New York, suck.
Well, you were telling me that motorcycle in New York is very unusual. Police doesn't like that and stuff like this. It's not fashion like in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is more fashion to have a motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, the police are not too friendly to our motorcyclists in New York, so it's not fun riding. Traffic is crazy. I mean, it would be nice if you could squeeze between cars, but you know, they find every excuse to stop you. So I usually don't ride in New York. But anyway, going back to the trip, you know, we got the motorcycle. So the first day we went to pick up the motorcycle. We got there on a bus, and there it is, like, you know, all with every part I ordered, like, you know, the pannier, the all-in suspension. I mean, I used to race when I was younger, so I know a few things. So I had a really nice setup.
You want the best setup.
Some companies in America are extremely serious. Like, you know, if you order all-in shock for BMW, you'll receive a call from all-in saying, so what do you need to do with this bike? So they will literally, you know, you tell them, like, we're gonna ride 2 up, you're gonna ride on those conditions, blah blah blah, and they set it up perfectly. So we pick up the bike and we started riding back, and 20 miles into the trip, I see the clouds. I mean, you all ride motorcycles, so you know what that means. See the clouds, and I look at my wife and I'm like, hey, what do you think? Shall we stop? Was it Saturday? You know, let's get a motel because we go home tomorrow. So no, let's keep going. So we did the other 180 miles, which was like cold, rain, really rain. You know, we went on a summer outfit. You know, I forgot the gloves. I bought the gloves at the dealer. And you know, when we got home, I was like, whoa, she's gonna divorce me. And I was like, we're just married like 1 year.
Yeah.
But instead, she took off her helmet and she had a big smile. So I was like, okay, good. So if you liked it, you enjoyed, then remember, worse than this is just snow, hail, and maybe more cold. That's it. And, okay, so we organized everything in 2 weeks and we left. So and we started a trip that lasted for 9 months on the road, and then we spent the last 3 months resting in Brazil. My mom lives in Brazil.
Wow.
And then another trip I did.
Wait! You make too much. You make too much. So
The trip from where to where?
Yeah. You
New York
I mean,
from New York to Patagonia and back.
Yeah, I'm back.
I mean, back to North Brazil and I should.
Yeah,
basically we did.
Can you translate for me in English? Come si dice? Gli hai fatto fare un battesimo di fuoco a tua moglie con il primo viaggio in moto?
I don't know. Yeah, road test.
Road test.
A road test, the marriage, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that trip was very nice. There was not yet Instagram and anything. So we had a website, which is still on. I mean, it's very dated technology, but whoever wants to see it, I'm going to write it here on the comment. So you can go see some picture, figure out how to navigate it, because...
Okay. So you have your web page that is Going Penguin, if I remember correct.
GonePenguin.com.
Okay. Because you have plenty of pictures over there, if I remember correct.
There are a lot of pictures. We updated it every time we had internet. We updated it, so it's not daily, But I mean, it was like once, twice a week, and brief story. And the interesting part is like, if you want to follow, like sometimes people are like, okay, how many miles I ride per day? Like oh, where do I go? First of all, no route. I mean, we got to go to the end of the road in Patagonia, but left, right, up and down. Let's say 2 days, 3 days. So that's obviously it's not always possible, but at least not being too strict. Like I met a lot of work travelers, but these people tell me like, oh, I did Prudhoe Bay in Alaska to Ushuaia, but they're going 2.5 months. I'm like, okay, then stay home, take an airplane. I mean, what do you do? Row.
Ve la traduco un attimo. Ho appena detto che ha conosciuto altri viaggiatori che hanno fatto Alaska-Patagonia, come ho fatto io Patagonia-Alaska, e c'era gente che diceva wow, sì, anche noi l'abbiamo fatto in 2 mesi, e lui dice, beh, allora perché ci hai impiegato così tanto? Facevi prima a prendere un aereo, per dire che insomma ogni tanto bisogna anche godersela. That's a good point, that's a good answer. Take it out.
Fai il giro, vai al bar con la moto, go to the bar, the motorcycle, same thing.
Yeah. I agree totally with you.
Fai il famoso sparo, quello che si faceva da ragazzini la domenica. Facciamo sparo fino a Como e torniamo indietro, ok?
Quando la benzina costava poco. When the gasoline was cheap, we did this. Go fast to a place and back. When the gasoline was cheap.
Yeah. And so the interesting part on the website, if you find the page, like there is the mileage of every stop. So you can see some days, like I think the longest distances I rode in a day was probably 700, 800 kilometers, because you literally, there's nothing, and you just want to get there, or it's extreme conditions, so you need to do it because you cannot really be in the middle, risking it. But otherwise, the average mileage, like 250, 300, 200, 150, 300, always like no more than 400 kilometers, which you're moving quite fast in a continent. If you put it all together day by day, yes, you get there in 2 months.
Yeah.
If you take your time, it's a
But
year.
if you want to stop and surf or enjoy the beach, it becomes longer.
I mean, my wife was always mad at me because she never surfs enough. But when I convinced her, it's basically the major thing was like, okay, if we
Dicky Bomb gave us wax.
Yeah, we got a surf. My wife is right here.
Yeah,
we got a surf sponsor. We look for sponsor even back then.
That's a good idea. That's a good plan.
In the end, we didn't really get much for free. I mean, we got some discount, but motorcycle. I mean, the idea of Sorry?
Helmet.
Oh yeah, we got free helmets from Premiere.
Oh, wow, that's a good
Those
point.
are the only really
And then Japanese companies and that jacket.
and a Japanese company sent us some outfit, but we didn't travel with that outfit in the end. So it was just the jacket. I'm like, what the fuck? And so she got this surf sponsor, which like they make walks for the surfboard.
Okay.
When we got to LA, you know,
Uh-huh.
they gave us like a huge box of walks we couldn't really carry on the bike, you know. So we loaded as much as we could. The company's called Sticky Bumps. My wife, it's, you know, advertising. Sticky Bumps, guys. If you go surf, get Sticky Bumps. And so she carried all those surf walks, which she ended up giving it to kids in surf spot, or sometimes trading it to rent the board for a day, you know. And we were standing longer, like I think one of the longest stop was Puerto Escondido in Mexico, which is very famous for surf. So she ended up like giving the, you know, half of the box, which thanks God the bike started to become lighter. As an information, 2 up, the bike fully loaded. I know because, you know, we waited at you know, when you get on the boat or whatever, you know, it's like 450 kilos. So it's a lot of weight. It was a BMW F800 GS, but you know, the bike was very reliable. I only burned one front light, and I flat 6 times, 5 rears in 48 hours.
Wait. You flat 5 times the rear back in how many hours?
48.
Costa Rica, no?
Yeah, between Costa Rica.
Ragazzi, ho bucato 5 volte in 48 ore in Costa Rica. 5 volte in 48 ore, lamentatevi. Wow.
Yeah, and that's after I met you and you fixed my back.
Yeah, that's the point.
My
When we
back
met,
got fucked up.
yeah. We met each other in Panama, yes. In the Colombia, exactly.
Because obviously, out of the 5, I mean, that's the only part. There's no picture on the website on Penguin, because we lost the phone. Because otherwise, it would be the like dramatic mode, the most intense 48 hours. Like the last time we flat was when we enter Panama. Yeah, and was that is it Leon the first city after the border?
I don't remember that.
Frontera, Davide, and we couldn't get to Davide. We were on the side of the road camping.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Davide. Yes, you're right, Davide. You're right, girl. Good memory,
anyway,
girl.
we did the border. It took forever, and was extremely. You know, some borders take long hours. And I think we even end up doing the border on a Saturday, which usually, you know, recommended to all motorcyclists when traveling. Don't do borders on Saturday, Sunday. Do it on Friday, the latest. Don't you ever go Saturday, Sunday, because you don't know.
No, please, guys.
It's always dangerous to sleep at the border, so don't do it.
This is a nice point for our friends that want to travel. Don't do border on Sunday. Do on Friday night because they want to go and they will push you out immediately, but not on Sunday. It's not a good point. Oh, Carlo, I think I'm lost in you. Your connection is not good. You're back. You're back. Yeah, yes, you're back.
So, yeah, you rather sleep 20 kilometers before or after, I mean, if it's dark. But anyway, that day, we did the border really late. It was like 7:30. It was raining, and we said, okay, let's try to get to the first town. I think it was like Davide. I think that was like the flat tire number 3. Yeah, we didn't get there. So then it became dark really fast, and the tire flat. So we're talking between one flat to the other is like 20-30 kilometers. So I wasn't moving fast at all. But this point, I flat at night on the side of the road with, you know, sugar cane, whatever it was. I couldn't see because like black pitch. So all you have is the front light and the back light of the bike. That's it, and a wife. And you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I stopped and I thought for a minute. I said, man, this must be some farmer, someone living somewhere. And maybe 500 meters like down the road, I could see like a light, you know, appearing, not appearing in the middle of the leaves. And so I told my wife, if there's a light in the middle there, unless the road turns, and the road, you know, roads are usually pretty straight. I was like, let's go there and see if we can find help, you know? And so actually, yeah.
We started to jump.
So I told my wife, walk in front of me. So you have the light of the bike and you see where you're walking. And I have the rear light and I'm pushing the bike. So at least, you know, someone hits me, they're gonna kill me first. And then kill my wife second. But, you know, on the side of the main highway, which is not a highway, it's like, you know, two
Main road. Main road.
But, you know, it's dark, you know, a lot of cars in South America don't have lights. You don't want to be around in the dark. They don't seal, they drink and they drive.
Yeah.
Whatever. And anyway,
Pura
when
vida.
I got there, it was raining and I could see it was a little farm, like, you know, 100 meters in, and there was the gated with a wire rope. There was like a wood gate, but you know, you don't come here, tell the story with me. My wife is like telling me the story in the back.
I know. I can hear her. Not very clear, but I can hear her. I know that.
Yes.
I know you guys.
She's shy.
She's shy. I know.
Anyway, and so what happened? You know, we're like, okay, I cannot jump and go there because this is South America. They got guns, you know, so you don't want to get there. In Central America, and they shoot you from, you know, behind the door, whatever. So I said, you know what, there was like a little dirt road to get to the gate. So I said, we're gonna camp here on this side, and we're not gonna camp. We're gonna just take out the tarp, attach it on the bike. We're gonna take off the tupanir. We're gonna sit below and do the night like this till the light comes out.
Wait. So you had the third or fourth flat tire. Was bad weather, and you want to camp without put the tent, but just the tarp.
Yes, because I don't know what's, you know, it was really tall grass field, and you know there could be snakes. You don't want to do shit at night, you know, like.
Yeah, I understand you. It was a very perfect situation for enjoy Costa Rica. Very enjoyable moment. Yeah.
And you obviously
why you arrived in Cologne with the bag locket. You was destroyed, guy. You was completely destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just the point of the story. You always find help, and so after 10-15 minutes, they were trying to assess and organize. Decidere, no? Dovevo arrivare a questa decisione, mettiamo la tarpa, i due bauletti, ci sediamo sopra e passiamo la notte finché ci brucia. So the main story, at some point a bus stopped and a guy comes off and he sees us in the dark, so he gets probably more scared than we are. Drunk because he came back from town. And I said, no, señor, tranquilo, la moto, problema, parapi, papà. So he goes to the gate, and I'm like, and outside his little house, there was like a metal roof. So I say, can we go there, camp? You know, you find a way to explain yourself, even if you don't speak Spanish, whatever. You know, you indicate, especially if you're Italian. So he said, well, let me go in, ask, and I'll. Actually, that was the fourth time. So he was one of the farmers. So he went in, and then he came back after 5 minutes, opened the gate, and said, yeah, no problem, sleep there. So, yes, Yona can tell the story.
It's a woman, we know.
Yes.
If you're shy, put the mask.
Yes.
Yeah, now it's very efficient to go around with the mask. So
yes.
put the mask and you can talk with the mask so you don't feel shy. Dani è molto timida e quindi non vuol parlare. Allora gli ho detto di mettersi la maschera, tanto va di moda in questo momento, potrebbe parlare con la maschera.
So we went in, we put the tent below the metal roof. It was actually nice because you hear the rain. And they gave us food.
Wow!
We ate, you know, and we went to sleep. And when I woke up early in the morning, I asked them, you know, what was the nearest town with like a borrachero, like a gommista, a tire place. And I woke up in the morning, you know, paneer under the bike. You guys have to understand that I didn't have no central stand. I think it's useless. You know, either you lay the bike on the ground or either you put a paneer below. That's why I'm a fan of like hard paneer, not soft paneer. If we want to talk about it, there's a reason for, because usually a central stand is about like 20 to 25 kilos.
Yes.
So that's extra gas, extra weight. And when you go off-road, it bounces too.
That's another good point. I want to tell again. Ragazzi, ci sta dando dei suggerimenti. Oltre ad averci dato quello dell'odorale, ci dice attenzione che il cavalletto centrale pesa almeno 20-25 kg e in fuoristrada ballonzola e è extra peso per niente. Con delle valigie rigide o con uno stick, con un bastoncino. I have my ex-boyfriend use a stick with a tanzal.
Io sono un fan della valigia rigida perché almeno ci si siede, ti fai un tavolino, devi andare a fare la spesa, la svuoti in un attimo. Poi tra l'altro vi dico un trucco, ragazzi, se non sbaglio c'è la valigia da 24 litri o 28, sono 3 misure, no? Cioè, quella media. Le borse, la maggior parte quelle di tela dei supermarket, dell'Ikea, cioè sono esattamente dentro.
We have a friend, hola amigo from Costa Rica, estamos hablando de usted, de cómo se fue en Costa Rica, el pinchazo del amigo. Tuve un pinchazo y alguno de ustedes los quitó y fue genial, justo cayó bien esta cosa. We have a lot of guests from also South America, and I'm looking here on the people that are online. Wow, you are very followers. You have many followers.
So
you went for the flat tire?
Yeah, I took off the tire and I jumped, you know, I left everything there, you know, we took our passport and stuff, because obviously they help you, but you don't know who comes there. And when we woke up in the morning, we're like basically surrounded by cows because of the horses and cow, my wife says. And dude.
Sonny, you have a great memory. My compliments. You remember everything. Wow, good.
Yeah, and so we jump on the bus with this rear tire, and I finally went into town. I find a borrachero, and he started taking off my tire. But just when he put it back on and inflated it, he finally realized that there was like a cut, a small cut like this on the shoulder of the tire. So what happened is there's like the metal tread.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're inflating it, okay, but you know, when you start going, the hair becomes hot, the tire expands, and you know, just like a little metal wire was making a little hole, because I wouldn't flood the tire in 1 kilometer. I would flood the tire in 30 kilometers, you know.
Got it.
So when I told the guys, like, oh, why don't you let's do it again and vulcanize it, but I think it was a Sunday or something like that. Yeah, it was Sunday because we did the border on Saturday. I said, no, está bueno. No, so I went and I was like, well, let's hope. So I put the bike back, and that's where I hurt my back.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I was like, and I was like, you know, when that happened, I know my back because, like, you know, I'm a tall guy. I suffer. I had hernia when I was younger, whatever. So I look at my wife and I was like, look, let's pack everything. Let's get on the bike while my back is still warm, because if I don't pack everything, we're gonna be here for days. So I jumped on the bike, and it was extremely painful to drive. So I was like kind of like trying to stand up, sitting down. So I did another like 20-25 miles and flat tire. This time I flat the tire in front of a gas station full of
Okay.
trucks. So I'm like, you know, fuck this. I don't want to drive. I don't want to fix it no more. I know in Panama City there's a BMW dealer. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to put the bike on a truck and ask someone to pay, go to Panama City, drop at the dealer, take an hotel and rest. And unfortunately, every single truck was empty, was going north. And I needed to go south. So all the trucks going south were full, no room. So at some point, you're like pissed, you know, your wife is worried, I'm in pain. And like a guy with the smaller car ever, like a, I don't know, Daihatsu, you know, it's like weird Asian brands, very small, all patched up, you know, he stops, plastic, whatever, you know, and he start asking questions, oh, nice bike, this, and he wanted to do a motorcycle conversation, but I was like, you know,
not
worried, you know, at some point I was very unpolite, I was like, look, don't break my balls, I'm stressed, leave me alone. So no, but I want to help you. What's your problem? So I got a flat tire. It's my fourth time, fifth time. I'm done. I need to change the tire, you know, because at that point I knew that I had to change the tire, even if it wasn't that completely run out. And actually I was planning to change the tires in Colombia. And the guy's like, well, let's put the bike on top of my car and drive it. And I do it. Okay. And he would have done it, but yeah, and he's. I was like, dude, the bike is bigger than your car, and how are we gonna fucking put it on? But anyway, we started brainstorming, and at some point, well, he really wants to help. So I said, well, what about? Is there any city nearby that they have a rental place? You know, we can rent a van, a pickup truck, whatever, get a driver. You know. So we ended up doing that. So we left the bike at the gas station, took the panniers, took the valuable, chained the bike, and jumped on this small car, me and Tony and the luggage. And we ended up going to a rental place where I was able to rent a pickup truck. Luckily, you know, we didn't have to lift the bike. There was a ramp at the gas station. So the bike went on fairly up, and you know, with ropes, we tied the bike, and he drove me to Panama City. My back was in extreme pain. I was in the front. That's where we lost the phone in the car. And then you have to trust someone because, you know, you pay for the car.
Yeah.
He has to return it. So he had exactly 24 hours to do all that. And he actually, I think he returned the car on the 23rd and 59 hours because he was probably, you know, he went back to town, wanted to show off. You know,
but he had a brand new car instead of his old one.
Yeah, it was a brand new pickup truck, I don't know, Nissan, Toyota, whatever.
He want to enjoy a little bit. It's the party, you know. He went for some girl.
I guess. But anyway, he was a motocrosser, so you know, I gave him like my spare pair of gloves. I guess he ended up with an iPhone. Her spare, my wife's spare. Because his hands were small. Okay. and
what is your memory? So, Carlos, you have an amazing story, but like all the travelers, what is impacting, and I see from your stories, is when you meet someone that impacts you a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I met a lot of people. I met you when we got, you know, after that flat tire, after a few days, I was still in pain, but, you know, we managed to get to where we get the boat to Colombia, and I met you and you fixed my back. So
yeah, I remember this moment.
You didn't have to, but you offer, and I was like, oh, who are you, you know? Actually, guys, Miriam is one of the best physiotherapists. She's the only person authorized to mess up with my back in the world. Or even if I have a bone problem, I ask Miriam before even ask any doctor.
Ve lo dico in italiano, ragazzi, perché lui è arrivato dolorantissimo dopo essere stato bloccato con la schiena a Panama, a Colón, dove ero io, e l'ho messo sul tavolo del biliardo, on the pool table. E l'ho sistemato, io sono un osteopata, gli ho dato un po' di cricket croquet e l'ho sistemato, e lui è contentissimo ancora oggi di questa cosa. So, great story, but I know that you did this with Tony. You arrived in South America, you arrived to Terra del Fuego. how Italian? Ushuaia, yeah,
Ushuaia.
and then back to Brazil, and you stay in Brazil because you are also Brazilian.
Eu sou brasileiro.
I don't see any Brazilian online, but I know that you speak also Portuguese.
Falo português.
Yeah. How many languages you speak? So English, Italian,
Italiano,
Portuguese,
spagnolo, che diventa portignolo, e francese, scusa, francese, inglese, italiano, spagnolo, portoghese.
5. Okay. So guys, learn the languages because it helps to travel.
No,
So,
that's not true, Miriam. I met during that trip. I met
Yeah.
a motorcyclist adventurist with a Yamaha XD 660 Tenere.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't speak. He couldn't hear.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's very great.
Yeah. And he was traveling the world, so you meet all kinds of.
Ho conosciuto uno che era muto e sordo eppure stava girando il mondo, quindi non c'è bisogno di parlare le
So,
lingue.
you know, like there's no limitation. I mean, I do. I mean, yeah, if you don't have an arm and a leg, maybe.
But well, I met one guy that no.
Oh, actually, I even met one guy without one leg traveling, and that was like coming out of. Yeah, you're right. My wife remembers. See?
Yeah, she have a good memory.
That was like okay during the South American part in Ecuador. I bumped again into a couple of the friends from Cologne in her hostel, so we did a little bit together. But then in that same town in where were we in I don't know. No, hold on. But we were met Dan Shell and we're in Cuenca. We met Dan. You're already sick.
I got quarantined by government.
Yes. Yeah, my wife got quarantined by government because that was the year of the swine flu.
Oh,
She
yeah.
got really sick in Cuenca.
And
Yeah, so we stayed for 10 days in Cuenca, which I loved it because they have like great ice cream. And then back then was like DVD, no Netflix, you know. I mean, Netflix just started, but you couldn't get it in South America. So I find a local DVD guy. So I was like, always like, come on, don't let me pay $10, $5 for a DVD because I return it to you. So we end up like $2, and then I would bring it back the next day. And I was eating ice cream like crazy. But yeah, we met coming out of Patagonia. So in Ecuador, we met Dan Shell, which was an English guy with, what was his girlfriend name? Jackie. And they were traveling on a big Harley Davidson. From Miami, going to Ushuaia. So, and he became quite our companion during the tarmac parts. And obviously, at some point, I was like, goodbye, and I would go the off-road part with my wife. So we would usually say, okay, we meet in 3-4 days in this town. Okay. And so we arrived with this Dan Shell and another friend, Frankie, with a Kawasaki KLR 650, Irish man, really great. It's a single man. I think is a. And he did the whole trip by himself. Then he traveled to Africa by himself, and it's the only guy in the world that has the risk of falling asleep while driving the bike. He will tell you that, like, if you're on a straight road and if you see him like doing strange thing, go there, knock him. You know, like in off-road, no, because it's not. Yeah. But luckily, oh yeah, if we count, I fixed also Frankie's tire because he had a flat tire, so that was a 7 tire, but that was in Ruta 40. But anyway, going back from Patagonia, you know, we're exiting Patagonia, me, Frankie, and Dan, and Jackie, and Tony, my wife, and as soon as you get off Terra del Fuego, which is the island of Ushuaia, and you get into Patagonia, which is the main continent, there's one first restaurant. Everybody stops there. You know, it's the only one, so you know it's cold as hell, and you're gonna end up stopping for sure. So,
was the guy, he kept on bending down on a Harley.
Lei è fantastica, si ricorda tutto,
Sì. So yeah, at some point we're like inside the restaurant. Oh, now I remember the story.
He was in the front of us.
Yes. No. We're inside the restaurant sitting. And at some point we see a guy with a Harley Davidson, which I guess so my friend Harley did, Harley people, they all brotherhood, whatever.
Brothers.
Yeah, okay, so you saw the Harley Davidson parked in the restaurant, so there's only like 3 motorcycles. Maybe...
Oh no, Carlo ti ho perso. Allora, Carlo sta... Ok, you're back.
Yeah, no, some friends are calling me, but I'm enjoying this. So he saw the Harley park and he comes to the restaurant with the Harley, As soon as my friend Dan see another Harley outside, obviously he ran outside and blah, 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 blah. My Harley, this and that, parabi, papa.
Purtroppo va in blocco la chiamata di Carlo e ci sta raccontando del...
So, he stepped out talking to the other guy, and after a few moments, we all stepped out, having a motorcycle talk. So the first thing I discover is that the Harley Davidson of the guy, he had a trailer on the back, a barrel, like an oil barrel, custom-made oil barrel that you could open, in half. And he was a big guy. I'm tall, I'm big, This guy was bigger than me. Like Dutch guy, gigantic, large, another half of me.
You are a tall boy, because you are very tall. You are 1,85 m, Carlo?
No, 191, 196.
1,91 m, Carlo, per cui tu dici che quello era grosso.
So this guy is huge, right? And so you start out. So the first thing I discovered, his Harley Davidson, was like, at some points, I could read the number, I think it was like 99,000 kilometers. And I was like, oh wow, you're almost like zeroing it. And the guy's like, well, it's the 5th time. So the bike was about to have 500,000 kilometers. That's number one. So my friend Dan was like, wow, Harley, blah, blah,
Con una Harley Davidson con 500.000 chilometri. Wow!
And then the latest surprise, when he opened the barrel, what do you carry there? You have the kitchen, you start with a stupid question between motorcycles. You want to know what kind of equipment everybody has. That's usually one of the major talks.
Yes.
Like people with dual sport bike adventures, what's the best tire, what's this, what's that, people with Harley, Anyway, the luggage is also something that what you carry, what kind of equipment you carry is usually a good knowledge to exchange. And the guy opens the barrel and there was a spare leg.
A spare leg? Like my God!
A spare leg. So we're like,
he had one leg.
He's like, yeah, I got one leg. And you know where the guy was coming from? He just came, it's January because you're in Ushuaia in January. So he just came to see the Paris-Dakar, the Dakar in South America. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can travel even on one leg.
Guys, this is an amazing story. Very inspiring for the motorcycle with so many kilometers, and very inspiring for this person that was traveling all over with just one leg. This is an amazing story. We are very lucky to have you and tell us these great stories. So go back to your trip. You didn't travel just with a motorcycle. So I want to make you some questions, like what is, and maybe Tony also can ask, I would like to have her opinion. Yes. What is the thing that you will never miss in your next trip? What is that I have to have this, I will not travel without?
Miss in what sense? Don't forget to carry on the bike? Or...
Cos'è che tu mai più senza? Mi spiego? Cos'è che tu vorresti per forza avere con te nel tuo prossimo viaggio? What you want with you for the next trip? Something that is impossible to don't have.
Miriam, for me it's food. I'm always hungry. But no, I mean, on a motorcycle, definitely spare parts, like the few spare, like the tube. The people always have a big debate, like, oh, it's better tubeless, it's better tube. I do a lot of off-road, And if you are tubeless and you bend the rim, you fucked. So
I
even
did.
if you
I
buy
bend
a
the
bike,
rim. I bend the rim in Peru.
yeah. So even if you buy a bike that is tubeless, bring a damn tube with you. And usually I advise to carry the front tube.
Yes.
The front tube fits also on the back. The back tube doesn't fit on the front.
Yeah.
That's not, so I would carry definitely the tools to fix the wheel, but nobody knows how to fix the wheel. I mean, not nobody, but I mean, not everybody. Because I used to race enduro, so when you race enduro, one of the things that you have to know in competition is changing tires, but it's not easy. So even for me, I mean, unless you do it every weekend because you race is one thing. If you do it twice a year, it takes, be patient. I mean, will take you like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, because also you have to inflate the tires with a pump. And your arm is gonna hurt. It's like going to the gym for 2 hours, doing the same movement.
I can imagine. And for Tony, what is necessary for you for travel? What is something that you will never travel without? Can you hear me? Can she hear me?
Oh, Tony, yeah, she can hear you. But
I can't really think of anything. It's that we needed all of them.
yeah, I mean, it's a hard question because when you travel on a motorcycle,
But we don't need it.
Oh, the coffee mocha.
L'italiano salta fuori, quello che vuole la mocha del caffè.
Oh yeah, so Tony's making fun of me, which I don't agree. But she thinks that the only thing that we didn't need was so not the thing that we need, but the thing that we didn't need was the fire starter.
Yes.
Yeah, so she makes fun of me because I carried. No, we used it once and it saved our lives.
I always had a lighter, man.
But Tony's like, oh no, we didn't.
So the necessary is the coffee mocha, and the unnecessary is the lighter. This one, the phone. Not
necessary.
I think
lighter is necessary. Yeah.
I think, Miriam, it's very subjective based on your skills. There's people that doesn't cook. I met a lot of American motorcycles. They don't cook and they have shitty food. So everything is in package, preserved, and whatever. So obviously those guys not gonna carry a camping gas, not gonna carry.
For sure. Yeah.
So I think it's a bit subjective. But the most important things is spare parts and tool to fix the bike. If you break down somewhere, and unfortunately,
I changed my mind. It's the gas, like plastic gas tank.
Oh,
the empty one.
Yeah.
That we needed it down in Patagonia instead of the water.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's saying that because when we did the Ruta 40, which I don't know now, that was already like what, 11 years ago, and they were starting.
It's only 10 years ago, and now it's tarmac road.
Yeah,
when we did it, was off-road, completely off-road.
Yeah, when we did it was they were barely starting to do tarmac, so 10 kilometers. So in Ruta 40, which is all off-road, there's no gas stations, and once you get to the gas station, you don't know if there's going to be gas. And matter of fact, in the middle of the route, some group of jeeps, Brazilian people, help us. They give us some gas because we're running out. And when we got to the gas stations, at some point you get, okay, I know if I go left, it's longer, but I found the gas station. If I go right, it's shorter, but there's no gas station. And you get to those situations. So we end up like carrying gas, plastic bottle, and we filled up with gas, which is not safe, not secure. So nowadays they sell very nice accessories, like that's something I would carry with me. So when I will know that I will have to do a very long stretch with questionable refueling, I would try to get extra gas.
We have just 10 minutes, so we have to think about what what we want to talk about more. Oh, come on.
Well, let's talk about the other trip I did by myself.
Exactly. I would like to talk another trip because you, after this long trip from North
This is
America
just,
to South, you were.
I'm gonna be very fast. This is after 9/11.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Brazil by myself, and I got lucky because I was already living in New York, but I left 10 days before the tower went down, and I was in Brazil. So I decided to stay there, not coming back. And initially I wanted to rent a car and go around Brazil by car, but it was more expensive to rent a car. So I said, let me buy a motorcycle. And I bought a Honda XR200 for the South American market, which looked like a real XR. It's la nostra vecchia XL200 1984.
Sì.
And on this motorcycle, was already many years I didn't ride a motorcycle. It was like about 10 years I was on a motorcycle. So I was living already in New York. I mean, yeah, I was living around the world. Matter of fact, after that, I promised myself that I would never be without a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I would have to have a motorcycle mentally, in anywhere in the world, in a garage, I don't care, but in my brain, I have to have a motorcycle. And I started this trip on a 200, so maximum speed, 110, 120 kilometers an hour. I started completely unprepared because I didn't have no technical outfit. I went there with a backpack very full, and I ended up not washing the clothes and just giving it away to lighten up. And that was an amazing trip. Carburetor bike, I still own it for a few years, and I sold it to a friend of mine in Brazil. He kept it for a few years, got stolen. I regret it. There's one of those other bikes that you're like, wow, I wish I could have it again. Perfect bike. And
nice, easy.
Yeah, all I'm saying is a lot of people think that you need to travel and you need this, big BMW, big KTM, big whatever, big this. So, first I think more technological is the bike, and the harder it is to travel, because they are reliable, but if they break down in the middle of nowhere, you're fucked. You don't move. So, and also heavy, more heavy the bike and better your skills have to be in order to go off-road. Otherwise you stay on the tarmac. So those are the main differences that, people keep debating. But in reality, if you want to travel, you can get a 200, 250, 350. Now there's a lot of bikes that are coming on the market. They're minimal, small. You're not gonna speed. You're traveling on roads that you don't know. Once you're like 100 kilometers an hour, 90, 110, you're on a good pace.
It's the new point of travelers. We had a point that travelers went up with the cylinder and the weight, and now the travelers are going back to low weight, little bike. It's easier. It's just easier for traveling, and most of the time it's cheaper also.
I totally agree. It's much easier. It's easier to load the bike. It's easier to bring it inside the guest house. It's easier to fix it. And if it's carburetor, even better. Matter of fact, the Irish friend that I was telling you before, he has a new bike back in Ireland, because back when I met him, he had a BMW F800 GS in Ireland, but he was traveling on a second-hand KLR because they can repair it. So he did Africa in the same way. He bought an XT660 carburetor, because those bikes, even the mechanic in a cabana in the middle of nowhere can fix it. Other not. So that's the main advice I have. Nowadays, obviously, unless you do it two up, like with a wife or your friend or your husband on the back, whatever, and you need more power. But if you're traveling by yourself, small bike, definitely, small bike. So when I did Brazil, I did 13,000 kilometers by myself on the coast, and I even rode that 200 in the desert, like in sand dunes. I wouldn't recommend it because it's hard. You need a lot of skills, and you need to really be you know, all
Open the throttle,
full on.
full on.
But
But you
I'm
enjoy
saying you can travel. You travel based on your skills, and you also carry based on your skills.
it.
So you adapt. The important thing is traveling. You know, take time. Don't rush. Like, you know, even
Don't
if you
rush.
do a small trip, you know, 100 kilometers, have time to stop and look at the cow. That's it. Or have
So,
a thing. Oh,
Carlo,
hey, the other
yeah.
thing, one thing that we always carry,
Yes,
which we would make in the morning, we would make tea. So I
tea.
always have, every day, we would always have a thermos with
Mhm.
something hot. So
Yes.
you know, you have your hydration, but then, you know, like a tea, and, you know, you have a sandwich, or you have a cookie, you know, you can always take a break to energize. I mean, I wouldn't eat those, you know, bars or whatever, you know, like, those are crap. You always, you know, eat healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you about the thermos because being vegetarian, I had one with me thermos, and being vegetarian was very useful because, for example, I put inside yogurt because in the bike yogurt will run out. Inside the thermos, the yogurt is keep fresh for almost all the day. So I buy in the morning and I can eat in the evening or the day after. Without the thermos, the yogurt gone. So it's yes, also for hot tea or something like that. Yeah, good. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that Tony is so shy,
It's all right.
but I'm sorry that Tony is so shy, but I say hello to her.
Well, let me see. Do I say? No, that's.
She ran away.
Oh, you see
Oh,
that?
she's out. Oh,
That's,
she's out in the garden.
that's Tony doing the garden.
Yes, of course. And I thank you very much for this little short interview. It was just less than 1 hour, but your story are so in the mood. Like all we are, we love to travel because we love experience. Very, very
There's
important.
one of the traveler I like the most, Miriam. It would be a nice guy to interview. I think it's stacked in Greece now. And he has
Okay?
been around for 4 years by himself, solo.
Paolo Cattaneo.
Paolo Cattaneo,
Yeah, we had already an interview with him in Italian, but maybe we can do it in English. Good point. I
Paolo
like it.
speaks really good English. He was
Yeah,
he came to visit me in New York on his trip, and he stayed
yeah.
here for 10 days, and I hooked him up. So that's the other thing about motorcycle community. Usually, if you're a motorcyclist, you tend to help generally other motorcyclists, you know, for crashing a couch, repairing the bike. Obviously, if you come to me in New York is a fucking expensive city, so don't expect, like, you know, I try my best.
We have an hello from Nepal. Namaste. Namaste, friends. Namaste, my friends. Cool. Ciao a tutti. Grazie Carlo, grazie Tony. E noi ci sentiamo perché dobbiamo vederci di nuovo, per forza. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to 6%. Thanks for being here. Next Sunday, we will have another Electric Sunday. Carlo has his Gone Penguin webpage and Electric Sunday here on Instagram. He has a very curious picture about number plate of New York, and I very like it. Yeah.